Welcome back to YouTube. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing this week's expectations and also some changes in the current events that we have that ultimately influence the market. Now, just yesterday, I released a video and I said that I expect us to trend sideways unless we got something like a major catalyst or something to influence the market either direction. Primarily, the most spontaneous thing would be obviously Russia, Ukraine, and those types of situations. Now, ultimately, whether or not we go to war it doesn't really matter when it comes down to the market. I'm not saying it doesn't matter overall, but it doesn't matter as far as for the price fluctuations in the market. If the market or if the sentiment or if the propaganda circling the market, if it thinks that we're going to go to war, if the price fluctuations are going to price that in and start acting as if we're going to go to war. So this gives ultimately an opportunity for us to buy the dips and capitalize off of some of these negative catalysts coming on. And we have a lot of them, and a lot more are coming over the next 30 days or so, even from like the feds and stuff. And we even have the truckers drive that takes place in California. They're going to drive to DC starting on the 23rd. So there's a lot of negative catalysts out here that can influence the market, especially the ones that watch my channel on the regular. We've been preparing for this. We've been speaking about some of these negative catalysts, and we're focusing on entries. So we're going to see how the market reacts tomorrow. And ultimately, if this is favorable, we're going to jump in and start taking advantage of these dips. So as of yesterday, we were roughly around like 14 cents, and now we're at around 12 cents for Dogecoin. Bitcoin is down like another 2 grand, I want to say, overall for the day. We're going to take a look at it in a moment, but I expect more of that this week. I mentioned in my video over the weekend, based off of Biden's statement saying that he believes that Putin has decided that he was going to invade Russia. I figured that would be priced in on Tuesday, the next available trading day, because that ultimately is going to pander fear into the markets. But now with the advancement of the tension between Russia and Ukraine and Putin declaring certain parts of it independent, this is going to further that agenda. So we may actually see the market react even more aggressively. And we've seen evidence of that today in some of the markets that were open, like some of the markets that were in Germany, obviously the ones that didn't observe America's President's Day. All of those markets are red, including futures. So I'm expecting this to be reflected into the economy overall tomorrow. So I'm expecting a really red day tomorrow. We're going to see just how deep red we go. We don't know that. We can't chart that. You can't chart fear roughly, but what we can do is have an expectation that if we are getting some really, really good discounts on some stocks or cryptos that we're interested in, we can pull the trigger on those because we've anticipated some of these negative catalysts ahead of time. That's why we don't ignore the macros here. So Doge is holding up its support line of around 12 cents. Historically, that range is holding up beautifully. So we're going to see tomorrow if it gets like dragged into some of the drama that's going to be obviously continuing tomorrow. But as of right now, for those of you that wanted to get in at 12 cents, this is your opportunity here. This is so far based off of this is so far really close to the low from the all-time high that we've hit so far. So we haven't broken beneath it just yet. We've had some strong rejections around this range, but we haven't completely broken down past it. So if you're looking to get in, this is the current low from that retracement. So we're doing really well. This is where Dogecoin is supposed to be having some resistance. So nothing to cause alarm here just yet. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. And with Bitcoin, as you guys know, I do believe we're going to get a breakdown into below 30,000. And we did get technically the quote unquote confirmation of a trend reversal when we had that rally back up. Well, obviously the rejections came in, and with the catalyst going on, it's not going to change the overall elephant in the room, the cloud that's hanging over the market. So we are headed back down, and obviously this was just a gap up. This has been, and for people who wonder why I say gaps typically need to be filled, now we have a situation here, and I want to point this out because I'll just use this as kind of like a teaching moment for the moment. So we see right here, we see 3 instances where the when you have gaps, typically on the opposite side, they're going to be filled. And this is usually what I mean when I say, okay, well, there's no support in this gap up, and typically you're going to see the opposite reaction on the other side. And now you have an example of a stock having a gap down, coming up, no resistance here on the way up, so it gaps back up. And then you see some like a slight one, like a really, really small rejection, but ultimately you see the deep red and the big candles going back down. This is what I mean by it's not 100%, so you can't like say, okay, well, I know for a fact that the market's going to react this way. But when you have gaps, it is typically a pretty solid bet to assume that those gaps are going to be filled on whatever side of the candle you're on the next pass by of that price point of that marker. So now you have three consecutive. This is like all within like a month. Yeah, I'll say about a month, 5 weeks. You have three consecutive price periods here, where when you hit here, you know, you can expect a boom to the upside or boom to the downside. So with the catalyst and stuff like that, I haven't changed any of my numbers, so I still believe ultimately we're going to get that breakdown this year. So we'll see as far as where where Bitcoin holds up. But we do have, last time we got a rejection here around like 33. Yeah, 33, 157. We got a strong rejection here. So we're still like $4,000 above that. So, you know, obviously there's some room there. But tomorrow, this week, I'm expecting deep red and a bunch of, I'll say, interesting conversations to happen in the macro events. So obviously we'll see how that plays out in the market. But this week, if you are interested in DCAing and being more strategic with your entries, this is one of those weeks that you may want to kind of amp it up a little bit. I do believe ultimately we're going to see even better discounts, depending on how the market reacts tomorrow, because again, that's unknown at this moment. But this is typically when you want to start jumping in. This is why you don't go chasing green candles, because I had a bunch of people tell me, oh, you're wrong. Look at this here. When this candle happened here, oh, they thought, you know, people thought for sure we were off to the moon there. But you don't let green candles excite you. Compare your macro with the micro and do your charts, and you'll have a solid idea. Nothing's 100%, but you'll have more hits than misses when you're having like a general idea as far as which way the market's going to trend. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this week. I'll stay in the loop, and I'll keep posting videos and giving you guys some ideas as far as the breakdowns. But this week, for those of you that saved some money, put some money aside, and who are averaging weekly, you may want to amp it up this week, because I do believe that we have the table has been set to get some bigger discounts this week. So just kind of keep that in mind. So if you enjoyed the video, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out the link in the description for BlockFi. You get $250 in your favorite crypto, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. You guys know the deal. I may go live later tonight. I'll post that depending on what time you're seeing this video. But until then, I will speak with you guys later. Thanks.